Hey, welcome to Classic Performance. It's a beautiful, windy, cold, chilly day out here today, and it's a great day for driving an enclosed car. And what we're going to be looking at today is a 1970 MGB GT in British Racing Green. Now, you might have seen our previous upload where we had the barn find MGB GT. This might look like the same car. It's the same color. It's a year newer. This is not the same car, but I wanted to give you a walk around of an MGB GT, show you everything about it, and we're going to take it for a drive as well. So come on and let's go for a walk around, and then we'll go for a drive. So as you can see by the wet pavement, we have had a lot of rain and it is cold, but let's take a walk around here of this MGB GT. You know, now you astute viewers would know a couple of things already right off the bat. The grill here is actually from a 69 with the bars in it. But anyway, that's, you know, some parts are interchangeable, and that was changed to that. This car also has steel wheels on it. Many MGBs came with wire wheels. This car has the steel wheels, and of course in British Racing Green with a black interior. Come around the back here, one of the things I want to point out too that's really unique to a 70, and that is that the rear bumper right here has a split in it. It's separated. It's two bumpers on either end instead of one piece all the way across. That's unique to a 1970. So this is the only year that has this split bumper right here. And of course this is a hatchback, and I'll show you the inside. Your spare tires in there, and this is just a great driving car. As you can see, all the lights on it work. You know, your cornering lights, marker lights, the glass is good, the paint's great. So this is a very much what I would call a driver car. And if you look at these headlights right here, you might can see that these are the this car's been fitted with Lucas H4 headlights, so you can see better at night. These all had the old seal beams in them, and they're a little sketchy, especially with today's traffic and highway speeds and so forth. So this car's been upgraded with the H4 halogen bulbs. Lucas, of course, to be correct. So that's kind of the exterior of the MGB. We'll take a look on the interior, and this car has a lot of leg room, and I'll show you that in a minute. You know, door handle right here. This is your lock. This is your lever to get it out. This is your handle to close it. Of course, they all roll up windows. And here's your dash. These are your headlights. So you've got parking lights off. This is your flasher right here. Fuel level, tack, which has a 5500 red line. Oil temperature, then you've got some indicator lights for high beams and for low charging, speedometer, temperature gauge, and then over here you've got hot and cold. Thought I'd get in to show you this a little bit better though. This is where you change from heat to defrost. The choke right here, so this is carbureted, twin SUs. Pull the choke, you can turn it to lock it, and of course right here this is your blower speed. And then over here we've got a cigarette lighter. We've got our I don't know, that's an interior light right there, and of course these are our hazards right here. I misspoke earlier. And of course map light, same map light right here too that you would have had in an MGA. And this is a radio delete car, so this is the block off for the radio. Over here on the stock, I've got my windshield wipers and my windshield squirters. You pull them, so it's up and down for medium and high speed, and then you pull this for your wipers. Another unique thing about these MGs, and all MGBs, whether they're GTs or Roadsters, and speaking of GTs versus Roadsters, they made 5,200 over all the years that they made, from 1962 or 3 up to 1980, and then the MGB started in around 66. But they made over 500,000 MGBs total, and only 120,000 or so were the hardtop MGB GTs that we're looking at today. Another unique thing about an MGB is some of these came with overdrives. Maybe about a quarter of the cars had overdrive, but every car came with an overdrive switch. So this switch right here, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, this switch right here would be your electric overdrive off and on. And in these earlier cars, the overdrive was a third gear, and then third gear overdrive, or fourth gear and fourth gear overdrive. So your overdrive on the tail shaft of the transmission could be activated to give you an overdrive in third or in fourth gear. So we go way up under the dash up here. underneath the left-hand side, there's a lever, and I've got my hand on it here, and it usually says B for bonnet. And you pull that, and that's our hood or our bonnet. So we'll go take a look under the hood. We got on this side right here, on the left-hand side, we got a little release, and then we got a lever right here we'll stick up, and that'll prop rod, and that'll hold the hood up. So we got our prop rod in place right here, and this is the 1800cc engine, 4-cylinder 1800cc engine, and this one's all original. This has not been out of the car. It hasn't been rebuilt. It's a little greasy, but it runs well. Twin SU side draft carburetors right here, and then we've got an alternator. In 70 they were upgraded to alternators already. This is your cutoff valve for water, for heat, for the heater inside. In the summertime you want to cut it off. There's a cable, and you can close this to stop water from circulating through the inside. Canister right here for the oil filter, starter below, distributor right here, coil, and then some relays. And then in this is the fuse box section. You got a total of 4 fuses in here on an MGB. And all MGBs too came with oil coolers. So we've got 2 oil lines here that come off the engine. They come on up, and this is your oil cooler. All MGs, most all of them, had a yellow fan for caution. This one was upgraded to a plastic, I think it's a 7 or 8 blade fan with a shroud around it for a little bit better cooling. So, you know, that's about all there is to the 1800 4-cylinder motor. And this is a 5-main bearing motor. Earlier, very early in first year, MGBs came out with a 3-main. They also had a mechanical tack on the back of the engine. But they did away with that quickly and went to the 5-main 1800 motor with an electric tack. So this is a 5-main electric tack motor. So we'll go around the back and show you what's in the hatchback here of the GT. And then over the years, of course, these changed with BGT here. Some would say MGB GT, and this octagon has changed in different iterations over the years too, from an outline to an emblem and that sort of thing. In the back here is your storage compartment, and right underneath here is the spare tire. You've got 2 little levers. You just twist them like that, and twist it right there. Reach your finger down in this guy right here, and up she goes. And then you've got a full-size spare back here, your jack, your lug wrench, and of course that is where you put the fuel in, and the fuel tank is right below the tire well. So that's the kind of the trunk area, and you can see you've got a pretty good bit of storage right back here. So and it also has little pop-out vent windows on either side, and this bracket right here is for a little seat back. This actually has a little jump seat, so you could fold this up. This is where the seat back goes, right here and right here. So you actually have a little jump seat. You could put some very young children. Of course, today very young children have to get a car seat, so they could not ride back there. So we would call that now a package seat. So that's kind of a look around at the MGB. There's not a whole lot to see. It's a very simple car. Once you get them tuned, they're very reliable. A lot of legroom in there. I'll show you that too. We're going to take a ride down the road, and I'm 6 feet 1.5 with a 34-inch pant leg, and I'll show you how much room I have in an MGB. So if you're a tall guy, a lot of these cars were made for people who were a little bit smaller back in the day, a little bit shorter. This car here fits a large modern day human being just perfectly. So let's get inside, crank it up, go for a little ride. All right, so I'm here in the B. I hope there wasn't too much wind noise out there. This is a 4-speed transmission, first, second, third, and fourth, and reverses over and back. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put her in neutral, push the clutch in, turn the key, and she fires right up. I don't know how well you can see the dashboard, but we'll do another angle from here so you can see the dashboard as well. So we'll have 2 angles, so just bear with us. Take our brake off, and of course, you know, on all MGs you want to have your Haynes manual, MGB Haynes manual, ready at any time, just in case you need it while you're on the road. Put our clutch in and ease it out, and it just moves right along. Put it right in second gear here, make our turn and head on up the road. And I've got I told you how much legroom they have in here, and I'll come back to that in 1 second as soon as we get on the highway. But there's a tremendous amount of legroom. We got a rattle back there. One of the springs on the back cover rattles. I haven't figured out where that rattle's coming from yet, but it's not going to take long because it rattles all the time. So hopefully that's not a distraction with the audio. Our last car there, and away we go. First gear, that's about 3,500 RPM. Second gear, fourth gear. And if you watch our MGA and our Austin Healey videos, and even our MGT car video, those transmissions are pretty notchy. These MGB transmissions, incredibly smooth. And I'll go down to third gear now. I didn't even double clutch or anything. You know, the synchros are fantastic. I'll rev it up a little bit, 2 fingers. I'm right down to second gear. Oh, I got somebody behind me, I gotta go. So we're in fourth gear. And like I said, these cars have an overdrive, so if I'm in fourth gear and I wanted to go into overdrive, then I just let off the gas a little bit. I'll flip the switch right here on the side, the car would be in overdrive. Pull over right here. I'll put my signal on, and I'm gonna let this guy go by me, so I don't feel like I'm being rushed. Pull over, hit the rumble strip right there. Let the old truck go by. We got a couple of other vehicles behind us. But this car just idles perfectly. It's in neutral right now. I just let the clutch out. There's no transmission whine. This is a driver car. If you're an MG expert, all right, we're all clear. A busy day of traffic here today. If you're an MGB expert, you know a lot about MGBs, you looked under the hood with us, you know, there's a lot of little things that still need to be done. Like I said, this is just a driver. It sits out in the carport and, you know, it goes anytime. Rain or shine, hot or cold. So a great running car. If you were back around in the 70s and 80s and even maybe into the early 90s, these MGBs were an incredibly popular car for used cars, for high school students, for college students. You know, we all had an MGB at one point in time or another, or our parents did, or somebody. I mean, they were almost ubiquitous like Volkswagen Bugs. So they were everywhere. You could buy them cheap, and they're still an incredibly reasonable car on the market today. If you want just a good driver like this, well under $10,000 for a good driver. You have some mechanical aptitude about you. There's very little that you can't do with an MGB, especially if you got your, you know, MGB Haynes manual. Excuse me. So goes down straight. Got my hands off the wheel. Doesn't pull. It is a fairly nimble car, and just a great, pleasant car to drive. Great car in cold weather like today. My nose is running a little bit. It's probably 38, 41 degrees outside, and I took my bigger jacket off because it's really very comfortable in here. So I'll give you a view kind of going down the road, and it's a fairly busy day with traffic today. We're running about 60, turning 3,500 RPM, and this car just cruises along so nicely. And I got that little rattle from that one spring in the back, but you know, other than that, she just goes very nice and very smooth down the road. Here's something else I want to show you. I want to show you where the horn is. It's not the horn, it's not here. On this stock right here, this is the horn. So if I press this button in right here, that's the horn, and that's where a horn is on an MGB GT and on an MGB. You know, as I said a moment ago, these cars were just ubiquitous. They're absolutely everywhere. They were all over just like Volkswagens, and people drove these cars all over the country. They were only transportation, daily drivers for many folks. And you know, speaking of that they made over 500,000 MGBs, that's a testament to how popular they were, and a good majority of them came to the United States. I'll tell you something else about the MGBs. They made an MGC, which had a 6-cylinder motor in it, and then not imported to the United States, but it was a 3.5 liter all aluminum Rover V8 MGB V8 or MGB GT V8 too. So they did make a V8 version, but it was only a right-hand drive. They never did make a left-hand drive car for the States of the V8 models. So if I'm incorrect, let me know. But like I said, the MGB Roadster, the MGB GT, which came along 3 or 4 years after the inception, and then they had the MGC with a 6-cylinder, which was really kind of supposed to take the place of the Austin Healey 3000. It never really did that, but it was the intention by putting the 6-cylinder motor in it. And it had a power bulge on the hood, very distinctive car. They had servo brakes. They had bigger brakes than did the regular Vs. So a lot of unique things about an MGC 6-cylinder, and then of course the V8 MGBs. So that's going to about do it for our look around the MGB GT 1970. Give the video a thumbs up if you like the content. That'll help our analytics. That'll help us keep doing more of this type of programming and uploads. Give us a subscription. We're still got to go get our barn find MGB GT. We're going to get that, and a lot of other things on the horizon. So take care, have a great day, and appreciate you viewing Classic Performance.